Well, you mentioned you only been there a few months. What do you know of your team? And just give us some idea of what kind of outlook you have.
Well, I've really enjoyed these 2 months. It was crucial that we got started quickly. Got a great group of coaches with me, and been able to bring in some that have made a difference with our team. And we've had a tremendous summer. Now, our outlook is, how I am. We just have a daily outlook. We just want to try to get a little bit better each day, be better today than we were yesterday. So that's really all we've been focused on. We try to have a lot of teaching go on and a lot of fun, and kind of redesigned our little field house area and moving things around. It'll be kind of updated, remodeled a little bit. So all those things just signify some positive changes that make people enjoy being a part of the team. And it's been an awesome thing to get to know these kids. These are great kids at Leeds, and their future is really, really bright because we're not void of talent. We just have to do a great job as coaches of putting that talent in the right place. And then over the next year or so, getting more kids out for football.
For the players, what's the new coach brought to you guys, to the program? What's new for you guys?
Competitiveness. I feel a completely new vibe and makes me enjoy football a lot more than I did before.
It makes it fun for everybody, and he brings us, make us have confidence.
Coach, freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
What did you see in him that made you go that direction?
Well, Jared actually started 3 or 4 games for him at the end of last year as an 8th grader. But we just took him and let the kids go wherever they wanted to go initially so we could evaluate them, see what they could do. And Jared is a natural quarterback. He's a natural leader. He has not missed a day of practice. And I think he's absorbed a tremendous amount of information in the 22 times we got together over the summer, and performed very well in the 707s and the OTAs that we participated in. I mean, I just think he's a gamer. He's a really tremendous competitor, and is really a little bit mature beyond his years. So I'm excited about what Jared will bring to us.
You guys have slightly different hairstyles, though. How does that go along with the head coach and the quarterback?
Well, I walked in, and that must be a thing at Leeds. We've got 2 or 3 kids that have curly and longer hair, but I like it. I wish I could grow my hair long and curly.
Coach mentioned, Jerry, that you started a little bit last year. What's it like being a freshman, and by nature of being a quarterback, there's an automatic leadership role that goes with that. What's it been like trying to be a leader when you are younger than some of your teammates?
It's been pretty hard. It's nerve-wracking too, but in the end, you just gotta be a good leader and do what you know best.
Jared, you've been around some really good quarterbacks. What are the things that, I'm not asking you to give away your game plan, obviously, but what are the things that he does well? What are the things that he's doing now that you guys think you can build on?
Well, the first thing I noticed is the kid, he's a young person, I believe. How long have you been 14?
I'll be 15 in 5 months.
So he's, 14 and a half years old, and I look at his physical size and his strength and maturity, and I think that's kind of a good thing for us that he's that mature and that big. He's got a brother that's gigantic, and so I expect him to be a 6'3", 6'4" type of kid. I looked at his feet and his mechanics. We changed the way he held the football, all these little things that he may or may not heard before. And I think I see the progression. He has a great arm. I'm not worried about him making the throws. And I think he's going to be, a sneaky runner. So I think he'll bring all those. The person I compare him most to at this stage would be Hayden Moore, who just finished up at Cincinnati's with Hamilton. He has a lot of those type of skills. I think he's going to have a really, really big arm and is a good and decent runner.
So how tall are you now?
Like 6 foot.
And how much do you weigh?
180.
For the players, and coach stuff too, but more for the players. Do you guys use social media to scout other teams, not to promote yourself, but to scout other teams or the players that you might be facing? How does it change the game for you guys? And then the second, coach, how does it change the game for you?
Jay?
I'm not exactly sure the question I'm being asked.
Do you use social media
Do you
to
use social
scout
media
other
to
teams
scout other players,
that
to
we're
look at
going to
other
play?
teams and maybe other players that you might be facing down?
Sometimes I do look at other teams from time to time, but I don't really use it to scout them, per se.
I don't really use it for real.
It's probably
I will look to see if they've made any mistakes in putting their highlight reel during the season to see what they're doing wrong and if I can attack that when we play them.
Coach, how does it change the game for you?
Well, it's become a part of just a part of what we do now in high school that we didn't do when I started, which is branding yourself a certain way. I use it, and our staff will use it to promote our kids and the positive things they do, whether it's on the football field or off the football field. We care about Leeds. We want to promote Leeds, and that's what we try to use it for. So anything great they do, whether it be in volunteering, whether it be in reading to young people, or winning a big football game, it's just fun. So that's what we use it for. We'll never say anything negative about an opponent or get in a back and forth of stupidity. We just want to promote the good things that our kids are doing.
What, if any, advice or social media training do you do with your players?
Well, we'll talk to them a lot about that over the next few years because we follow all of them. All the coaches follow the kids, and we try to do that by position and those kind of things, and just watch what they do on there. But the way that it sells itself pretty quickly is when you put that on there, you know that's on there forever. So I'm going to have a college guy come in, and I'm going to say, hey, Jaden and Jerryon, they're possibilities for your school. And that's one of the first things they're going to look at is see who you are away from the introduction to the college coach. So that usually takes care of that self pretty good. And also, I think that they understand after communication that the only thing it needs to be used for is to benefit us. So don't give the other team any fodder. Don't talk any smack or anything like that because that really doesn't help us in the game. If it's going to help us in the game, let's put it out there. But mostly we just talk to them about, don't be a dumb guy on social media because it just stays with you, and you may not be a dumb guy.
Coach, what are some underdogs that maybe we didn't see the last couple of years at Leeds that you might think might be a underdog of dark horse that we've never seen before?
Player-wise, are you speaking of?
Yeah.
Well, I have no idea. I just met the kids, so all of them, to me, got to start at ground zero. But I think some names you might want to just be aware of. Certainly these two cats. Jaden has really great size and is a good inside defender for us. And Jerryon has unbelievable athletic ability and speed. And when he unleashes that, I'm interested to see what he will do. But I think, guys like, obviously, Jacoby Hunter is a proven commodity for Leeds. He's been a very good player for them for a long time. I think of some guys like Justin Pettis, who has shown a lot this summer. What's Kane's first name? Jacob Kane. His daddy Scott. That's who I kept thinking of. Jacob Kane, Omar Conley, Remetris Yelverton. There's all kind of those kids. Keelan Jones comes to mind. DeAndre Oden, the offensive lineman, C.J. Walton. All those kids kind of come to mind, along with a lot of others that, I think time will prove out that this is not a very bad group. Talent-wise, we're not completely void. We just don't have as many numbers as I would like coming from where I came from, because I know that's a lot of football nowadays.
It's not like you were totally out of football, but when you were a head coach before, there wasn't instant replay. Now there is. What do you think about it?
We haven't used it.
You guys have it at your home games?
No.
Okay.
I was on the committee that when Coach Savarese started mentioning this and wanted to pilot for the country, and I think it's a good idea. It's just not in our scope of things yet, but I'm not against it by any means. I just hadn't been a part of any game. I really wish we'd have had it last year at Clay Chalkle when we played Pinson, because we were playing pretty well, and they called a fumble on us on a kickoff return and gave them the ball, allowed them to score their first points. And upon further review, it didn't look like a fumble. So that's part of it, but that's just part of football. I mean, the referees call it, do a wonderful job, and call it the best they can. So, I think it's a positive thing because of the technology we have, but so far it hadn't really affected our lives yet.
Back to this season for the players, for all you guys, just what's your outlook for the season? What do you expect us to see from Leeds?
It's gonna be fun, and we'll see a lot of people that love football. That love football.
I'd say that, last year we obviously had a really, really young team. Almost everybody who was starting had either a sophomore or a freshman. And since we've grown up a little bit more and we've learned a lot more since all of the new coaches came into play, I feel like we were going to do better than we did last year, and I have really high hopes for what we do.
You're going to see a very well coached team, a team that wants to win and wants to compete.